Hello friends, welcome to another session of STEM Talk with Leaders. The world today focuses on experiential learning, learning from doing, experimenting, mastering skills, and adapting to different and diverse situations. That's what Robo Shiksha Kendra aim to deliver. They are educational museums where students can actually touch and tinker artifacts, off-the-shelf technologies, and create things that they imagine. Our students are building the future while interacting with our team of dedicated engineers and trainers at Robo Shiksha Kendra. Here on STEM Talks with Leaders, today we have for you a friend from a partner nation with shared values, a personality, and inspiration. He represents a society ethos that is deep-rooted in the startup culture. Dr. Nimrod Israely, founder and CEO of Biofeed and Dream Valley. Hello, Dr. Nimrod. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Bhuvan. Great to be with you. I feel honored and lucky to speak with you and be with the kids of India and maybe other countries because children are the future. And I love it. I love the concept of your program. I remember myself, the same age, we had a class talking about innovation. And I thought to myself, I am so unlucky because all the good things already been invented. What can I invent? And I was frustrated. So I'm telling all of you, don't be frustrated. The things that we still need to do and innovate are so much more than we have done until now. There is plenty for all.
All right. So, Dr. Nimrod, my students are very curious to know, where were you born and how were you raised?
So I was born in a society, it's called a kibbutz. It's a community of people unique to Israel. We have a few hundred communities like this, and they can certainly take the credit of Israel having such a successful agriculture. And just to give you some proportion, we're talking about less than 1% of the population of Israel in those kibbutzes, and they produce over 40% of the food for the country. Over 40%, and that is in addition to exporting a lot. So this is how impactful the kibbutz organization is. So this is where I was born. Just maybe 2 or 3 things unique. One, from the age of 0, we slept outside the home of our parents. And the second, every week, we had one day we worked outside the school in the farm, all kind of work.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing where you come from and how you were raised. Students, you will be very interested in knowing about the kibbutz and the phenomena. We will share some link descriptions below, which you can Google also, or put it up in your web browser to know more about it. Students, as you know, Israel has one of the most educated populations as a country. It ranks 3rd globally in terms of years of schooling per person. All right. So that means, the people are very engaged in day-to-day activities. Dr. Nimrod, can you tell our students, what are you tinkering with these days?
Well, I would start with something that I love, and that is leading the international conference for business models in agriculture. It's going to be in Africa, in Kigali, Rwanda, but it is open for everybody. This is why it is international. And why is that? Because all farmers of the world challenge the same things. So we've made it international. The second thing is the Dream Valley organization, which is a platform to help any farmer to get to any market. Very much like Amazon is doing with small and medium enterprises, helping everybody to sell and also to buy from everybody. And the last, but the oldest, is Biofeed company, which is a technological company dealing with developing technologies that can replace better than spraying the control in agriculture.
Fantastic. Dr. Nimrod, your interest in agriculture is very relevant to our students because a lot of our labs operate in rural areas which are dependent on agriculture. And, it bears a lot of resonance with what they also do, tinkering with things that their parents get their livelihood from. Can you tell our students why are industry leaders interested in STEM and STEAM education?
That's a good question. And it relates to what I said before, that is how Israel became so successful. It is not only because of farmers, because like my mother, she's a Holocaust survivor. The Nazis killed most of her family. She escaped Europe to Israel. She didn't know the language. She had no money, nothing to wear other than what she was wearing. And then she climbed up on a hill, bare hill, with nothing, no electricity, no water, no trees, nothing. So how she became so successful it is because of the ecosystem. And the ecosystem is of scholars, of people that study, and all their life, they never stopped studying. So this is why it is so important. Myself, I study in high school and then university altogether, 25 years until now, and I don't stop for a day since then.
Yahoo, hooray, hooray. So, Dr. Nimrod, very important lesson for our students that to remove poverty, education or STEM way of thinking, logical way of thinking, exploring, experimenting and doing things is very important. And that brings us to our next question. How important is hands-on training for school students?
Okay, so the way I was raised is every day from the age of 10 years old, every day, every week, we would spend one day, full day working. At the beginning, it wasn't a full, it was just actually 2 times a week, afternoon. And then when I grew up, high school, it became a full day. But the concept behind it was, it's not enough to learn about agriculture or about technology. You have to practice. So I was working with the chickens for some time, with the cows, in the factory, in the orchards, also with babies, in the kindergarten, kitchen, many things. So my advice to you, experience, experience, experience as much as you can, as long as you can. It's going to be so handy that you wouldn't believe it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Dr. Nimrod, it is so important, with your inspiring words, our students are also going to create a schedule during their summer vacations and go out exploring things with their parents or within their homes on their devices to know more and ask more questions about what they do not know. Okay, so to move on to my next question, my students are very curious to know from you, Dr. Nimrod, how does STEM way of thinking help students innovate?
Well, I believe that if you start by experiencing in the field many things, innovation is coming out of you. Because during this experience, you see things that you say, oh, I can do it better, or oh, why is it done this way? Or oh, this is really stupid and poisonous and dangerous. I want to change it. So the things will come from you even without trying too much. But what you need to keep in mind is, one, I hope that you will join the agro industry. You should know that there are many farmers in India, like 600 million farmers, but too few scientists and action people. Please join the scientists and action people. For your information, in Israel, we have more scientists and action people supporting farmers than farmers. So I hope the day that this will be also the case in India.
Certainly, certainly, Dr. Nimrod. Students, I hope you are taking notes, because this is a very important aspect that Dr. Nimrod has mentioned, that agriculture is a science. You can experiment and implement. There are examples like Green Revolution, the country of Israel itself, and the work that Dr. Nimrod is doing all reflect how agriculture and science both are synonymous with each other and help feed millions and billions of people around the world. Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing your personal experience with us, Dr. Nimrod. Okay, to my next question to you then. How does STEM way of thinking help students learn entrepreneurship?
Well, when you have the STEM way or the scientific way, you think of a challenge and try to solve it in a scientific way, not by accident, which is also one way. But then it's hard to copy paste. And what we want is really that we develop something and then we can copy paste to many people, millions, maybe hundreds of millions. And this is what science is doing really good. So when I started doing what I'm doing today, I was a farmer. And when I said, I want many more farmers to do it, I had to do it in a scientific way. So to help others to copy from me so they can benefit.
Wow, that is a very interesting way of narrating, Dr. Nimrod. I must compliment with the ease that you have mentioned this. Students, I hope you are taking notes. Key here is, if you pursue any subject in a scientific manner, in a reasonable manner, you are able to document the challenges, the failures, and replicate the models many times over. Thank you so much, Dr. Nimrod. You are an authority in agriculture, and we want to learn from you. What are some of the myths and misconceptions that you have heard from students that you have interacted with about STEM education?
Well, maybe the most important is about failures. Everybody afraid of failing, and they don't publish their failures. If you go on Facebook, on LinkedIn, anywhere, you don't see it. Nobody is failing, nobody. But what I found, that it is from failing that we learn. It is only when you hit the wall, you say, oh, there is a wall here. I need to go around it because maybe I'm doing something wrong. And the greater, in my experience, the greater the failure was, I was able later to come up with better solutions and much greater jump into the future. So it's not about failing. Fail and get up, fail and get up, fail a lot and get up a lot, but always continue. It is not you that are failing. It is just one more step to the solution you are looking for.
Absolutely. So students, key here is, not to dwell on the failure, but learn from the failure, because it happened because you did not know what were the things that made this failure happen. Understand it, move ahead, get up again, like Dr. Nimrod mentioned. Okay. So to our next question, Dr. Nimrod, you've studied over the years, both at the university and by doing things in the field. So my students are very curious to know, what is that one subject, topic, or activity that you have done by self-learning?
That everything is life is about passion. Follow your passion. Don't look, where can I make the most money? Or where can I get to the top fastest? Look inside, try. And we are born without a booklet that is telling us what we should do. Nobody. We don't get out from the belly of our mothers with a booklet. So this is your job to find what you love, what you feel connected, and then pursue it, no matter what. Don't wait for the weekends. Don't wait until you become rich or vacations. Try to make your passion your work. And I think, Bhuvan, that you are doing your passion. I can see it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the compliment, Dr. Nimrod. Okay, to our next question. My students are very curious to know, with your vast experience, can you tell them some STEM challenges that the students will have to solve for in the future?
Yes, it is in the mind. Whether you will go to school, obviously now, and then university may be part of you, but I promise you in a full certainty of 100%, whatever you will do, there will always be people that will tell you it is impossible. Even scientifically, it is impossible. Don't listen. As I said, follow your heart, your trust, your belief. Be open when you hit the wall to go around it, but remain committed to yourself. Don't listen to those who will tell you it is impossible. Everything we do today, including this video, once in the past, most of the people, 99.9999, said it is impossible. Now it is possible.
Absolutely. Dr. Nimrod, you are an innovator, and your innovations bring people together. They come to you for solutions. Can you tell our students how STEM education at schools helps social integration?
This is great because, especially maybe in India, you have the caste. But when you go to school, when you write down a line in a computer, a code, when you do innovation to take a rocket to the moon, or a new technology for farmers or others, nobody cares about where you came from. Nobody is asking you in the business world or in science where you came from. Nobody. So this is integration through science and through business. Make a lot of science and business. It's good for everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. So students, when you work in teams, you remove all barriers that are virtual and physical. So go ahead, do teamwork, create something together, and have together values as well. Okay, Dr. Nimrod, you have led companies like Biofeed, you lead conferences across continents, you have a deep understanding of where the world is headed. My students want to learn from you. What are some of the STEM career choices school students can aspire for?
The inspiration should be to things that we cannot even think of them today. So it's all about imagination. Let your imagination flower, flow, go, take you to wherever you like. Don't be afraid by yourself. Share it with others. So the most important thing is really not to tell students what they can do, I can or can't. Maybe even not to tell them what we should do, because we don't know. We know that unless we change the environment positively, we are all going to die. This is something, I mean, maybe not tomorrow, but it will happen too soon. So we have the greatest challenges that mankind has faced since ever now. And you guys, you are going to help us solve it. Us is human race.
Certainly. We thank you, Dr. Nimrod, for sharing your personal journey with our students and inspiring them with your ideas, insights. Thank you very much. Hearing your experiences, our students are definitely going to be motivated to walk ahead in their journey of STEM way of thinking at Robo Shiksha Kendra and in life. Students, we learned from Dr. Nimrod today that to understand STEM, there is no prerequisite other than the zeal to learn and confidence to take up any problem challenge that comes your way, physical or virtual. Just like how it is, it takes different managers, engineers, coders, and robots to create new services and devices. India STEM Foundation realizes that each one of you is individually different with ideas that are totality of your knowledge. So grow your knowledge and practice, as Dr. Nimrod mentioned. We want you to grow this dexterity and convert gained knowledge into reality that you can dream of. For those who don't have a STEM lab around them, we encourage you to start your own STEM clubs till we reach you. For others, you can visit our website and explore the links in the description. We thank you for sharing our video with your parents and peers. Until next time, Shalom, Namaste.
Bhuvan, can I say one more sentence?
Please, please.
And that is to keep in mind that everything we do is for people. Technology is a tool, is not the goal. And the goal is happiness inside and love. So I wish you that you would find your happiness, and I wish you from me a lot of love. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nimrod.